Musk ox. The musk ox is a long-haired, dark brown ruminant related to goats and sheep. The musk ox is found in northern Canada and Greenland and has been introduced into Alaska and other northern areas. An adult bull averages 1.9 to 2.3 meters in length, stands 1.2 to 1.5 meters at the shoulder, and has long, downward curving horns with sharp, upturned tips. Females are much smaller. Both sexes have a dense undercoat and an ankle-length outer coat for protection against the cold. The male emits a strong scent of musk when in rut, hence the name. The musk ox travels in herds of 10 to 100. Its numbers have been drastically reduced and its range limited by humans, who hunt it for hides and meat. Efforts have been made to conserve the species, however, and it is now protected in Canada. The adults of a herd, when threatened, form an outward-facing circle with the young in the middle. Asiatic black bear. Asiatic black bear is the common name for a medium-sized bear of Asia, also called the moon, collared, Himalayan, or Japanese black bear. It has a black, shaggy coat and a white, or sometimes brownish, V on its chest. It ranges widely over mountain ranges in Asia from Japan to Pakistan. Females weigh about 50 to 125 kilograms, males weigh about 100 to 200 kilograms. Asiatic black bears have 5 long, thick, curved front claws on each foot for climbing trees and digging. The animals are nocturnal, sleeping by day in hollow trees or caves. They feed on succulent vegetation, berries, nuts, and insects. They breed from May to June. The females give birth to usually 2 cubs and skip at least 2 years between litters. The Asiatic black bear is adapted best to forests. Although they are still abundant in Japan, the bears are losing habitat rapidly due to logging and agriculture. Like other Asiatic bears, the species is also threatened by increased hunting. The Asiatic black bear is considered aggressive and dangerous in close encounters, and, because of this reputation and its wide range, conservation of the species has been given insufficient attention. The ecology and biology of the bears are still poorly understood, and management is inadequate throughout their range. Addax. The addax is a desert antelope that originally ranged from the western Sahara and Mauritania to Egypt and the Sudan. It now inhabits the southwestern part of the Sahara and is found in lesser numbers across the Red Sea into the Near East. Excessive hunting, severe droughts, and tourist harassment has caused such a dramatic decline in the addax population that it is now endangered. Only one viable population, containing less than 200 animals, still exists in the wild. A strictly herbivorous, cud-chewing mammal, the addax ranges from 95 to 115 centimeters high at the shoulder and is yellowish-white in color, with a brown mane and a black patch at the forehead. Both sexes have graceful, ringed horns, wound in an open spiral as long as 89 centimeters. While adapted to the desert, the addax has large hooves for running over sand. By eating succulent leaves and wild watermelons, it can live most of its life without drinking water. The addax seeks shelter from the midday sun, sometimes in caves. Black leopard. Like typical African leopards, a black leopard has spots, but they are harder to see. Leopard is the common name for a large member of the cat family that occupies a wide range of habitats and has the most extensive distribution of any of the wild species of cat, occurring throughout much of Africa and Asia. The body of an adult leopard is about 0.91 to 1.91 meters long, exclusive of the 1-meter tail. Typically the coat is pale tan, and it is marked with broken circles of black spots. Unlike the rosettes of the American jaguar, these circles have no central spot. Specimens with darker ground colors are seen, and some leopards are completely black and are known as black panthers. The black leopard is an agile climber and will often stalk monkeys in the trees. It hunts mainly at night. When game is scarce, a leopard will eat field mice, fruit, porcupines, baboons, or arthropods. The female bears 1 to 6 young per litter. Asian elephant. The elephant is a huge mammal characterized by a long muscular snout and 2 long, curved tusks. Highly intelligent and strong, elephants are the largest land animals and are among the longest lived, with lifespans of 50 years or more. Healthy, full-grown elephants have no natural enemies other than humans. Throughout history, people have prized elephants for their great size and strength. On the battlefield, soldiers astride elephants have trampled and terrified enemies. Elephants also have been trained to carry heavy supplies through jungles and to haul huge logs from the forests where they once lived. Elephants have long been revered and honored, and in Thailand, India, and other Southeast Asian countries, beautifully decorated elephants still play a significant role in traditional religious ceremonies. According to Buddhist tradition, the Buddha chose the form of a white elephant as one of his many earthly incarnations, and the rare appearance of a white elephant is still heralded as a manifestation of the gods. Fossils of elephant ancestors indicate they once lived on every continent except Australia and Antarctica, but elephant habitat today is restricted to Africa and parts of Southeast Asia. Elephants occupy an array of environments in Africa and Southeast Asia: grasslands, marshes, forests, deserts, and mountains. They are herbivores, or plant eaters, and need great quantities of food to sustain their massive size. They also need a lot of drinking water and so are restricted to areas with ample vegetation and adequate water. Even small herds of a few elephants can quickly deplete the food and water resources of an area, forcing them to keep on the move. A herd of elephants migrates seasonally in an extended loop, looking for fresh resources within its home range, which can extend over 1,500 square kilometers. In its search for food, an elephant can travel 5,000 to 10,000 kilometers in 1 year, the longest mammal migration on record. African and Asian elephants differ in size, color, and other physical characteristics. The African elephant can be distinguished by its larger size and broader ears that drape over its shoulders. Males, or bulls, may reach 4 meters in height and weigh 7,000 kilograms. Females, or cows, are shorter, averaging 2.8 meters in height, and weigh considerably less, about 3,600 kilograms. African elephants are light gray in color, although they can appear dark gray, red, or brown from the mud they bathe in. They have a low, flat forehead and a slightly swayed back. Their fan-shaped ears average 1.5 meters in length and 1.2 meters in width. Both bulls and cows have long, curved tusks. Asian elephants are shorter and stockier than their African relatives, with ears that do not reach their shoulders. The average Asian bull stands 3 meters tall and weighs 2,300 kilograms, about half the weight of male African elephants. Cows reach an average height of 2.4 meters and weigh an average of 3,000 kilograms. Asian elephants have dark gray skin, a bulbous forehead, and a rounded back. Ear size averages 0.75 meters long and 0.6 meters. The cow's tusks may be either absent or undeveloped. Despite their great weight, elephants walk almost noiselessly with exceptional grace, their columnar legs keeping their bulk moving forward in smooth, rhythmic strides. A thick cushion of resilient tissue grows on the base of each foot, absorbing the shock of the weight. The toes help balance the weight in walking. Elephants normally walk at a speed of about 6 kilometers per hour and can charge at up to 40 kilometers per hour. They cannot gallop or jump over ditches, but readily take to rivers and lakes, where the water supports them and enables them to swim long distances without tiring. Elephant tusks, the paired, elongated upper incisors, or teeth, are the largest and heaviest teeth of any living animal. The tusks are used for digging for roots and water, stripping the bark off trees for food, fighting each other during mating season, and, in African elephant cows, warding off predators of baby elephants such as lions and tigers. In a calf, the first incisors are replaced within 6 to 12 months of birth, and the second set, which becomes the tusks, grows at the rate of about 17 centimeters per year throughout life. Tusk growth is determined by genetics and nutrition, and over the years, normal wear and tear scales down their length. An African bull tusk typically weighs 20 to 45 kilograms and is 1.8 to 2.4 meters in length. The tusks of an adult Asian bull average 1.5 meters in length and 30 kilograms in weight. The more massive tusks of the African elephant, and the fact that both bulls and cows have tusks, make these animals a more desirable target for ivory hunters than Asian elephants. Elephants have a total of 4 teeth, all molars, which have jagged ridges for grinding leaves, stems, and roots. A single tooth can weigh more than 5 kilograms and measure 30 centimeters in length. The first pair of molars is located toward the front of the mouth. When these front molars wear down, they drop out in pieces as the 2 molars in the back shift forward. 2 new molars then emerge in the back of the mouth to replace those that have moved forward. Elephants replace the back molars 6 times throughout life. When the last set of molars wears out anywhere between 40 and about 60 years of age, an elephant can no longer chew food and dies of starvation, a not uncommon death among elephants. Elephants lack sweat glands in their skin and their ears act like radiators for releasing body heat. By flapping them, an elephant brings the many blood vessels within each broad ear into contact with the air, which cools the blood before it circulates again through the body. This cooling mechanism may explain why the African elephant, which evolved in a hot climate, has ears larger than those of its Asian relative, which evolved in a cooler area. An elephant's tail is hairless but has a skimpy brush at its tip, a useful tool for whisking away pesky flies. A typical tail can weigh 10 kilograms. Elephant eyesight is poor, and the eyes are small in relation to the enormous head, which can turn just slightly from side to side. This limited movement results in restricted side vision, and an elephant must move its whole body to broaden its range of vision. Its other senses, hearing, smell, taste, and touch, are acute. The most sensitive organ is the trunk, which is frequently at work picking up scents of food and danger from the ground and air. Elephants can smell water at great distances and can hear certain sounds from more than a mile away. Elephants display complex social behavior, living in tightly knit families that are matriarchal, that is, headed by the oldest females. Families are composed of sisters, cousins, aunts, and nieces, and their young offspring, and range in size from 2 to 29 individuals. These animals may remain together for life. If a family becomes too large, a few females leave to start a new herd. The members of a family bathe, forage, and travel as a group. Family members typically stay within 46 meters of the matriarch, maintaining contact with their calls. If they are separated even for a matter of hours, their reunion is marked by an elaborate greeting ceremony, which includes running, rumbling, spinning, trumpeting, defecating, urinating, clicking tusks, and rubbing each other's bodies with their heads. The family also defends the young, sick, old, and disabled from predators. When the elder cow in a family dies, the next oldest usually takes her place as leader. Elephants communicate with each other through touch, sound, scent, and body language. Touching is done mainly with the trunk, and can range from a cow's gentle caress of her calf to a disciplinary slap delivered by a matriarch to an unruly subadult male. Shoving, kicking, and rubbing against each other are other ways that elephants communicate. Elephants also raise their voices to communicate, trumpeting as a warning or greeting to other elephants nearby. These animals also produce low-frequency rumbling sounds, which can travel over great distances, reaching the ears of elephants several kilometers away. Recent research indicates that elephants also communicate with infrasound, sounds inaudible to human ears. Elephant communication includes the secretion of different pheromones in urine or dung. These chemical sense signals can be detected by nearby elephants, or carried by the breeze to elephants at a distance. The secretions of the glands during must also convey scent messages. In addition, information is shared through various body poses. An African elephant, for example, spreads its ears wide and may flap them while holding its trunk against its body to signal it is about to charge. Much has been written about the emotional life of elephants. Observation of wild elephants has proven them to be loyal and affectionate, willing to risk their lives for the sake of others in a family group. Wild elephants have been known to celebrate births of new elephants and to grieve and even shed tears over the death of a family member. In captivity, elephants can become attached to a particular zookeeper or circus worker, refusing to cooperate for anyone else. Styracosaurus. Styracosaurus was an herbivore that lived during the Cretaceous period, more than 65 million years ago. Styracosaurus was a smaller ancestor of Triceratops and lived about 10 million years earlier. An adult Styracosaurus was approximately 5 meters long, 1.8 meters tall, and weighed up to 3 metric tons. It had one large horn on its snout, a small horn above each eye, and a neck frill with several long spikes. The neck frill provided protection from carnivorous predators, such as Tyrannosaurus, and also made Styracosaurus look larger and more threatening. Like Triceratops, Styracosaurus had a sharp beak to cut leaves from low-growing foliage, such as cycads, and powerful jaws to chew the tough leaves. Styracosaurus was discovered in 1915 in Red Deer Valley, Alberta, Canada. A large bone bed with approximately 100 Styracosaurus fossils was also discovered in Arizona, which indicates that Styracosaurus traveled in herds. Carnotaurus. Carnotaurus was an unusual dinosaur. Its name means meat eater with horns because of the knobby horns over its eyebrows. While most dinosaur fossils have been found in North America, Carnotaurus was discovered in South America. It was also discovered quite recently in Argentina, by José Fernando Bonaparte, who found only a single fossil. But it was so well preserved that rough bumps were visible on its skin. Carnotaurus lived during the mid-Cretaceous period, about 113 to 91 million years ago. It measured approximately 7.5 meters in length and weighed about 1,000 kilograms, and featured two large horns above its eyes, tiny arms, and four-fingered hands, each with a backward-pointing spike. Although, like most carnivores, it walked on its hind legs, Carnotaurus is unrelated to familiar meat-eaters such as Giganotosaurus, Allosaurus, and T. rex. Instead, it belongs to a group of explicitly southern hemisphere meat-eaters called abelisaurs. Triceratops. Triceratops is a genus of four-legged, plant-eating dinosaurs that lived during the Cretaceous period, more than 65 million years ago. Triceratops had three horns on its skull, one on its snout and one above each eye. The name is derived from the Greek words tris, karat, and ops. Triceratops was one of the largest horned dinosaurs. The animal's other defining features include a beak and a neck shield, or frill. Triceratops belonged to a diverse group of ornithischian dinosaurs called ceratopsians, which populated North America and Asia toward the end of the Age of Dinosaurs. Many skulls have been recovered from sediments that floods deposited 67 million to 65 million years ago on low, coastal plains near a seaway that covered the interior of the United States and Canada. An adult Triceratops was approximately 8 meters long and weighed up to 12 metric tons. Skulls of adults were 2.5 meters long and ended in a narrow, bird-like beak. Within the beak, its teeth were compressed into rows that resembled large shears. The animal could open its jaws sideways to gather foliage by rotating the joint between its head and neck. Once the food was gathered, the animal then rotated its head back and chopped up the food between its powerful jaws. The underside of the neck frill contained a dense network of blood vessels. Fossil evidence indicates that heat was radiated from the frill through these blood vessels, in much the same way elephants transport blood to their ears to radiate heat. Some scientists believe that Triceratops could gallop like a rhinoceros, but others suggest that the animal was too heavy and clumsy for this. Skeletal remains of Triceratops have been found over a vast alluvial plain that resembled the modern lowlands bordering the lower part of the Mississippi River near the Gulf of Mexico. The jaws of Triceratops were well suited to reap fibrous plants such as cattails and palmettos, which are known to have grown in that plain. The animal's large size suggests that Triceratops inhabited an environment with an abundant food supply. Partly healed puncture wounds in their skulls indicate that they fought one another like modern horned mammals, such as male goats and deer. However, some paleontologists believe that Triceratops' horns may have played a role in species recognition between males and females and in other aspects of social behavior, particularly in group dominance and mating. Tyrannosaurus. Tyrannosaurus is the name of a genus of large, two-legged, meat-eating dinosaurs that lived in the late Cretaceous period, about 65 million years ago. The name Tyrannosaurus is derived from the Greek words tyrannos, tyrant, and sauros, lizard. Instantly recognizable by their size, upright posture, serrated teeth, and small, two-fingered forelimbs, Tyrannosaurus were some of the largest meat-eating land animals that ever existed. Scientists know more about Tyrannosaurus than they do about any other predatory dinosaur. They have found dozens of skeletons of these giant saurischians in Mongolia and throughout the western United States and Canada. A particularly large and complete skeleton named Sue is on display at the Field Museum in Chicago. Another fossilized Tyrannosaurus, discovered in Montana, was so well preserved that blood vessels and other soft tissue remained within its thigh bone. Tyrannosaurus are members of the family Tyrannosauridae, in the suborder Theropoda. Although scientists disagree about the number of species in the genus Tyrannosaurus, some scientists recognize 4 species, of which Tyrannosaurus rex is the best known. Tyrannosaurus were among the largest flesh-eating terrestrial animals, exceeded in size only by the Giganotosaurus and Carcharodontosaurus. They reached 12.5 meters in length and 5 meters in height, and they weighed over 5 metric tons. The skull of a Tyrannosaurus was large and flexible and contained a brain comparable in size to those of modern reptiles. Its bone-crushing bite was probably more powerful than that of any other flesh-eating dinosaur. The bridge of the nose contained wart-like knobs and pits. The animals had a broad field of vision but could focus their eyes directly to the front. A Tyrannosaurus had short arms with few nerves running through them. This limited nerve development suggests that the arm movements must have been unwieldy and clumsy. The barrel-shaped chest of these dinosaurs indicates that the lungs were very large. A latticework of bones protected the stomach and other internal organs. The legs were long and slender. Tyrannosaurus probably preferred open terrain, such as broad game trails and open forests, where it could move its large body and see unimpeded by brush. Scientists estimate that Tyrannosaurus could walk rapidly and may have been able to run at speeds up to 40 km per hour when chasing prey. They also could lie in ambush upon a strong pelvic extension, with chin on the ground, watching for prey with their high-placed eyes. Scientists debate whether Tyrannosaurus were warm-blooded like modern mammals. Evidence suggests that the creatures had a uniform body temperature, which would require a metabolic rate higher than that of other reptiles. Some scientists have even suggested that Tyrannosaurus had feathers, not for flying but for insulation. A higher body temperature would require Tyrannosaurus to eat more often than other reptiles. The stomach of the dinosaur could hold more than half a metric ton of flesh, which would be consumed every few weeks. Scientists have found a 2-liter lump of fossilized dung that contains direct evidence of the prey of Tyrannosaurus, partly digested bone fragments of young plant-eating dinosaurs. Further evidence of their diet includes a Triceratops pelvis that exhibits deep punctures and grooves made by Tyrannosaurus teeth. Like most active carnivores, Tyrannosaurus probably also fed on the decaying bodies of dinosaurs killed by starvation and floods. Tooth marks on some Tyrannosaurus skulls indicate that the animals fought with one another by biting on the face.